Hello, everybody. What's up? My name is Callie.
And my name's Knight.
And welcome back to...
The Great Ace Eternity.
She's laughing because I gave her a funny look when she... Because we do a countdown before we start. And she went 5, 4, Pikachu, 2, 1.
No, I went 5, 4, 3 Pikachu.
Regardless.
And the 1 is always silent, so it doesn't get picked up in the edit.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we either give her a funny look when that happens.
You should be used to it by now.
I mean, yeah, but you always find some way to surprise me. Just like I always find some way to make you laugh.
Yeah. Sometimes it works in the 2-for-1. Anyway.
So something's not right.
No, because right is your descendant, sorry. Wrong
How?
word. You tried to hit me, but you hit my chair arm instead.
As the detective said.
Excuse you.
What a translation.
Yeah.
Anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that.
Well, that's not true.
Depends on your pain tolerance.
Or it depends if your response to extreme pain is just, ow. Because mine is.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said your pain tolerance.
I complain more when it hurts less.
Because it's dull, you twit. It'll hurt more.
Dull pain's annoying, though. It's like, could you just get it over with? Like, either be sharp or go away.
Get on with it.
Pretty much. Anyways. And yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day or any day before. Though even if he didn't scream, there would be a to-do about it.
Yeah, because it's a fucking incident on the premises.
Yeah. And we all know that makes it liability.
That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. Yeah, but you also didn't see him blink.
What are you suggesting?
Well, if the professor has carelessly laid his wrists on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day, that would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, the old antiques dealer, all of us without any question would have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Do I have to? I mean, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Watson scream?
Because he was already dead. They seem surprised by that. I almost don't believe it. Rasuki, do you think?
Can it really be true? I never dreamed we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but...
It's dreamt. It's a T. I know I shouldn't pick.
I'm starting to think that maybe... we've been led into a terrible trap.
It's a trap!
How?
Oh, easily. What?
Okay.
She set you up.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's called... It was probably already dead before he got
There's
shot.
only one explanation I can think to make sense of the apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Watson was already dead. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. Again, I wouldn't say that's a valid argument.
Well, you wouldn't stay quiet about it.
That's clearly impossible, apart from one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting... Sadly, it's only possible if the man was already dead.
Already?
Dead.
I don't like you.
Also, Naga, run! Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Watson's table that day, the professor was already dead. But It was.
That's madness!
But how is it possible? Because the beefsteak was hers. Well, we'll find out. Order, 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 please. Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim killed by a gunshot.
That's right! That's absolutely right, Your Excellency! This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student that clearly has no grasp of the facts!
You're the one sweating bullets, dude.
No, Prosecutor Ouchie, you have no grasp of the facts. I beg your pardon! As soon as it becomes apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet?
Are you constipated?
Your Excellency, the court must hear from the witness again. If it is true, as we now believe, the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard. It's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it.
Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. Youngsters that know what they're doing.
When does that happen?
I'm sorry to say, Miss Bitch Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
No more luncheon. Your Excellency!
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy. But rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency.
So weird.
She looks offended. Like, oh, how dare.
So weird I randomly remembered that spell called Judgment in Tales of Symphonia.
No, that's like...
That was like your favorite spell.
Yeah, because it came from my favorite character.
It was also very shiny.
Is she going to finally speak?
No.
God damn it. What was that smile?
A bitch. Yes, of course. I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. Miss Brett, you speak Japanese? Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country, after all.
But then why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible. She is totally a bitch.
Clearly.
Even ouchie. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all in your own level. Well, we are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. Yo, you are the
Epitome, by the way.
epitome. Epitome makes much more sense. God, dude. It's sad. I can read normally, but when I'm like having to read to say it out loud,
You know what the really funny thing is?
What?
The first time I ever saw the word epitome was in Tales of Symphonia.
But like, do you ever have the problem? Like, I can't read out loud and make it sound right. We are truly honored by this. Oh, look, honored has a U. Wonderful. Anyway, this lavish considerations you so gracefully afford us. Butt kisser, butt kisser.
In that case, Miss Bitch, and no, I'm not correcting myself, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading to the death of the victim, Dr. Watson.
So, we're finally going to hear from her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryosuke.
Why do I still have to be here?
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor old man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me.
Didn't she poison him?
But of course, this country's superior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
That's not a testimony. That's just insulting. I'm not reading that.
Yeah.
That is just
Here, one
bullshit.
sec. That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in Supreme Court's history. Thank you. Sounds more what he would say.
Yeah, tell me about it. Ass kisser.
I hope that is the last time I'll have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Seriously, dude, have you tried speaking actual Japanese? It's not a bad sounding language. English is confusing as fuck.
So if
I'm
this means
pleased
4, then this must be...
Yeah, anyway. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
You know who she reminds me of?
A bitch.
As your stepmother put it, how's the psycho doing?
Also, she's not my stepmother, she's my stepmom. A mother is someone who is not actually a parent. Anyways, not at all, not at all. It is delightful merely to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. What were you saying?
I want rice.
You always want
And
eggs.
eggs.
I got you hooked on that. Anyway, I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what happened here today. The Minister of Justice? May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Did you just give this game your middle finger?
Was that a prayer then? Yes, my middle fingers were in fact the prayer. To go fuck yourself!
Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, but put up with the cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed this little bully of a student, as you put it. Doesn't miss much.
I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. Although I've already said that like 4 times. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Okay there, McAllister.
Who?
Kevin.
Oh, right. Home Alone.
Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination.
You must be happy when it comes to cross-examination stuff, because I talk more. The victim's dead.
Air quotations.
Well, I mean when the witness is talking generally. Sorry. Mistake, ba-da-ba-da.
Wait, go to the post-mortem report.
Well, she changes there, though.
What do you mean?
She changes.
Changes.
Her positioning, her, pose.
Yeah, so?
That usually is a hint that something's different.
Okay.
Because she's being a sparky little bitch.
Well, yeah. So, press? Without leaving a trace.
If someone is shot or strangled or stabbed or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there is always a telltale traces on the body. Quite right, dear lady. I think my accent from her is getting mixed up. And our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased. There can be no doubt. Do I spook you when you don't know that's coming?
No, it makes me cringe.
Well, yeah,
Because I can't imagine how much that actually hurts.
But it doesn't. I know you keep saying that, but it's like...
Maybe you just don't feel it.
No, it's not that. I took 3 years of drama in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And though my teacher noticed I had a problem with production, so she actually worked with me to get my voice to be loud enough without hurting.
Ah.
Because my teacher actually... She did try to go to Broadway and stuff, so she's been on stages and that. And she was a good teacher as long as the school play wasn't going on, because as soon as the school play was going on, that was her attention.
Yep.
Especially if it was a musical.
Well, obviously.
Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga?
Well, as I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death. That's true. Maybe there's some other way to killing someone that doesn't leave a mark.
If heaven forbid you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the prosecutor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
Smug bitch.
Oh no, perish a thought, calling such a sweet young lady a bitch. I'm sorry. Ladies' incidents into question. Oh, my honor, I, Takasushi Achi, will cut down any who dare to cast such aspiration.
The way of killing someone that leaves no trace.
We need some evidence to back us up here.
Yes, evidence.
Don't worry, we'll press what you wanted. Which is the one before. You wanted to press this one, right?
Well, no, I wanted you to, look at the... I wanted you to look at the post-mortem report. Because, what does it actually say?
Well, it's only saying press or present, so... Oh, that was the wrong thing. My bad. One sec. Go in here.
Yeah, death occurred after 2 p.m. was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest.
Time of death. Yeah, okay.
No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. Huh.
That's all it says.
Fuck.
Anything new? No.
Nothing here.
I feel like... Okay, we're gonna press everything.
Okay. Yes! But his hand was on searing hot plate for at least 3 seconds. You can't have not noticed.
Do you think so? Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Ever since I arrived into this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours has been wide open. You can't not have noticed, can you?
Huh?
What fun. You haven't realized. The dear lady is absolutely right. As your friend, you have embarrassed me as well as yourself, Ryanosuke.
Not fair, my fly came down when you fucking made me go erect.
Ryanosuke, we did talk about what words you can and cannot use in the courtroom, have we not? Dr. Watson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing? Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can. Yeah, he's an idiot.
Well, I can't.
Anyway.
Yes!
As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right?
Dr. Watson was only permitted to drink water at the time, if you remember. You
Yeah.
brought it up. Which explains why you ordered that drink, correct, waiter?
Exactly as you say, so.
I guess that's why he's still there.
Although,
Although...
whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that.
Damn you. I've had enough English to understand that, at least, for the benefit of others of the court. It means bless you.
I think it means the exact opposite, actually.
Anyway. As far as I've heard, we already did that one, right?
No, we didn't press it yet.
Okay.
Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma.
Yes. Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. This time. And if there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause, it can only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life.
But it doesn't make sense. The burn must have happened straight away, when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter.
Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it would have been able to make a burn like that.
And if the victim burnt his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point.
And yet, the fact is the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to prove that.
I concur. Prosecution ouchie is...
You can say it, sir. It's okay. You can. Here, how about I say it for you? I am right.
No anyway there.
Yep.
Okay, we pressed that already.
Yes!
Inferior? What do you mean by that?
In the lands of Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Quite right. Look, kind of was open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes place in a different direction... Takes a different direction, not takes place, my bad. Vital evidence may be lost.
Does he feel insulted?
No. It doesn't even occur to you in naive.
Naive.
Yeah, I know. Naive. I don't know why I couldn't say that right now.
You're knife detectives.
I think it's because I know it's naive, but my mouth was trying to say native, and I don't know why.
Well, if you just put the T between that I and V.
Naive.
Wait, no, sorry, the A and the I, if you just put the T there.
Naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful as I can about this. You understand?
That's you being tactful?
Oh, yes, you don't want to know. Ah, killer blow. The lady is formal and she is beautiful.
Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie is finally starting to see sense.
I very much doubt that.
Still, something about what Miss Brett just said.
Will have to be investigated next time.
Okay,
So,
this has been Gally.
this is midnight.
See y'all next time.
Bye bye, everybody.